makes me want to steal a moped. I'd never buy a moped. I'm sure shit never gonna rent a moped, but I'd steal a moped.
And that makes me want to try roller skating again.
Not a big roller skater.
I'm that person walking because I know I'd fall on my ass and break it. So.
Wow, how old is this video? Because that guy was wearing a mask.
This had to be 99, 2000.
Did you see that, though? The black guy wearing a mask?
No.
Sorry. My brain is in conspiracy overload. Let's talk about pot stuff.
Weed.
So what do you have for us today on the Sesh Connection, Tracy?
I have a weed bag full of stuff. Actually, it's not full. I mean, I make it sound better than it is. But I literally do have the weed bag.
And it literally does have stuff in it.
It does. It really does. So, let's see. I think the first thing I'll pull out to get us started is we've got these
that is a fun box.
originals. They are rosin gummies. Rosin gummies by Taste Buds.
I love Taste Buds.
I know you do. I know you do. Yeah. So are you guys, you ready for this?
Cool.
Is it 10 mil per edible?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Tracy's going to do everything in her power to make me forget about tonight.
That's what I do. I'm like my own little GHB.
That was a drug I did not
Is
enjoy
that why
as
my
much as I
asshole
thought
always
I would.
hurts when I wake up on Tuesday mornings?
True.
It's one of the reasons.
It's that banana.
That's what that taste is.
Can we discuss the awesome shape? It's like Superman's crest without the S.
Is that what it
the
is?
banana.
Yeah.
Instead of a
diamond.
Superman crest, it's a
Imagine just the
THC
S.
crest. Ooh, that's tart.
So this is called Hot Rod Rosin. They're 10 milligrams a piece. This is, the flavor is tropical punch.
It's delicious. No weed. And tart.
That's good.
And chewy.
I like the taste. I don't like the texture.
I'm with you on this.
I like it. It's like a Jello jiggler.
Yeah, I'm okay with the texture on
It's
this
too
one. and I'm-
rubbery.
You know what it's missing? Hear me out. Chocolate. Dip that motherfucker in chocolate. I'm good.
No.
That texture with chocolate would
Dark
taste
chocolate.
fucking delicious.
That's not the answer. It's not
Fucking
like,
delicious.
Chocolate is not always the answer.
It is the answer.
Chocolate is 95% of the time the answer.
But not
And
always.
I'd love the taste of that along with chocolate, like, because it's a tart berry taste. So, like, it'd be like a raspberry or something. Like, it's going to be good with a dark chocolate. That texture is booty. That is too rubbery. It's like eating bad calamari.
It's like it tastes like a Haribo.
You
It
know
does
what?
taste like gummy bear
love
texture. So
gummy
that's why I'm thinking
bears.
like if,
I love gummy bears.
and I don't necessarily like gummy bears unless they're in like dipped in chocolate.
I-
Yeah, I know it sounds really weird.
And by the way, you're incredibly wrong that 95% of the time the answer is chocolate. 95% of the time the answer is bacon. The remaining
That's
5%
true.
is chocolate.
You can say that, but I've had a lot of things that were like, chocolate has improved more things across the spectrum for me in my personal anecdotal life than bacon has.
Absolutely not.
No, pork fat makes literally everything better, and they always take it from the belly, which is where bacon comes from.
I'm not arguing the validity of bacon, James.
I'm just telling you that.
I'm telling you that in my personal anecdotal experiences, I have gained more life enjoyment from chocolate than from bacon. It is a choice based on my love of chocolate, not the universe's approval of bacon.
Oh, just pork in general.
I love pork.
Anyway,
I'm just saying I love pork. So Taste Buds with a Z at the end. It's strain specific. It's full spectrum rosin, so we know that full spectrum doesn't just add that THC effect, but it also hits on all your cannabinoids. So it's solventless, of course, because it's live rosin. It's sustainable packaging. Paige, I know you like Taste Buds, but I know he likes containers,
What is
so
it
you might
made-
have to fight over
what is
that.
the container made of?
Cardboard, probably.
I don't know. Metal? But trees, water, and people, carbon offset partners. That's what they are partners with. So
That's very cool.
yes,
Can I see it?
of course you can.
Oh, it is metal.
That seems not sustainable.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to recycle that. It's just going to get thrown away.
I think
James
it's
will recycle it.
No, James will keep it like a nerd. That's different. 90% of people buying that aren't going to recycle that.
So it's funny that we're talking about something sustainable like that, because the next thing that we're going to actually pop open is going to be a joint. And I really want to discuss this because I did kind of get on this a little bit earlier before you guys just take a look at it. So I have issues with this, and we'll open up and see this together. But this is called Pure Blaze. It's a pre-roll. It's hybrid. It's a hybrid. It's a 1 gram pre-roll. It says full flower horsepower. And so here's what it is.
Oh. So much packaging.
Thank you. Here we are talking about a sustainable.
Oh, it's like movie theater
package.
M&Ms.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's like a box of M&Ms with a bag of M&Ms. Like,
Knife.
I don't actually have one because I just
Son of
flew
a
in, so they're
bitch.
still in my checked luggage.
It's okay.
Sure, I probably have one around here somewhere, but
So, well, honestly, like this is already like what I dislike about something like this. I
and
mean,
this is all to get what, a
all of
pre-roll?
this to just get to a pre-roll. Like, use a tube at this point in time. Now, don't get me wrong; it's nice looking, but look what we're already
Now,
talking
I have
about.
a
That's what I
legitimate
hate about
question.
them.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. If that's the alternative to the tube, it kind of makes sense because the cardboard is at least biodegradable, and whatever that film is, I guarantee takes up less landfill space than a plastic tube.
Yeah, but those plastic tubes are not recyclable.
But how many people are legitimately recycling them? Okay, you're one of 3 at this table. Oh, sorry, I didn't actually see your hand. There's a monitor in the way. I can tell you that I
I
don't,
have a
but I have
recycle bin.
accepted that I'm a
Yeah.
monster.
But you can also, like, you don't have to go to the dispensary to recycle them anymore. Just like Tracy said, you can, like, throw them in your recycling bin.
so the
And
other
we just have a dumpster. All the trash goes in a bag, goes in a dumpster.
mean,
yeah, because
That happens
you're in a
sometimes.
place where there's single stream, so somebody separates it. Just you don't have to. So there's a lot of places where
Take
you
your
get-
word for it.
Well, again, in theory. Now, the other question I have is based on it is in something of like a little vacuum package. So does it also have a date?
I want to say they all do typically.
Because
This-
that seems like a way to artificially preserve it for longer when you have it in an air sealed.
This
Kinda.
being a sample, it does not have that date of birth on there, but because it's a sample and because it's probably been brand new on that sense,
It's probably
usually
fresh.
they give like a year for flour until they call it expired. So
Okay.
I'm going to assume that this is probably fresh. And it's pretty soft too, so I'm
And
telling
I
you right now
apologize.
that
What
that's-
brand was this again?
This is Pure Blaze. Pure Blaze.
I'm not familiar.
They have it might be a Maggie's Farm.
Wasn't that a Rage Against the Machine song? Seriously, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think
Word.
you're right. It does not say. It's a very plain box. Yeah, very plain. But it's full flour. That's what that says. I don't even have a THC reading on this, like to see how much is actually in there, or what percentage it is, or whether it's an indica, or actually I know it is a hybrid rather, it does say that there. But back to what I was saying, all in all, this is just like the way that it came out, I'm not impressed. It came out bent, it came out to the fact that like I feel like I had to sit here and fuck with it until I felt like it's ready to be lit. So I guess the test goes.
And Bear was quite right. It's a Rage Against the Machine song.
Word. So my roommate started buying packs of CBD cigarettes, for lack of a better descriptor. Like, it's literally a pack of cigarettes. There's 20 of them in there. It comes with the foil, all of it. Like, but there's no tobacco in it. It's all just CBD plant. It's filtered. It's papered. It's like they use James's little machine over there or whatever. And that packaging is so down and so compacted and so perfect. Why can't I buy just joints like that yet? Why does everything still have to be a fucking production?
Well, because I don't really know. Like I guess like it could gum up the works because like most weed has like that crystal and all of that like keeping shit on it. That
But
maybe,
the technology exists.
I know, obviously, but
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
Why can't I buy regular THC joints like that?
In a pack of 20?
Yeah, like it was, dude. It was a
So,
pack of cigarettes all the way, except there was no tobacco. It was all just CBD pot.
I don't exactly know why not either, but I know that there are like, at least they're trying with the mini packs. They're offering 5 packs, 4 packs. Even this same company actually that does this has their own 5-pack of minis, which I think we talked about it before. They're called like concert goers or dog walkers,
Right.
little half-gram joints.
Which are perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are. I mean, they're great to just kind of jump around with. But that's all they kind of have right now, as far as I've seen. I mean, otherwise they do have like 1 gram 5-pack joints too, but nothing as like elaborate, I guess, as you're talking about yet.
And I get like you would be paying for whatever the total weight was. Like I'm not trying to get around that. It'd be like probably a $40-$50 pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
or
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
But like to just have them that convenient would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Balls.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could do like 1 gram each one, and that still would only be 20, which means you still have 8 grams to wiggle around with in a day. If if your allotted amount is 28 grams in a day, 1 ounce per person per day, then yeah, you can buy a pack of 20 cigarettes or marijuana cigarettes and still have 8 grams to work with.
Yeah.
You can get that and like some concentrate.
ooh,
But the
that's lovely.
technology's there. What like do you think it's a showmanship issue that they're trying to be better than, or like
I honestly, and this might sound stupid, I think that it's more along the lines of you have cigarette companies already cornering that market,
Yeah.
and they don't want to be that similar to it because you still have 18-year-olds that are purchasing cigarettes,
Not
so you
anymore.
kind of
So-
don't.
you got to be 21 to do that now?
Oh,
But
really?
I
Is that a
have
thing?
seen companies.
Yeah, my daughter's like, cause she vapes and she can't buy her own vape juice till her birthday.
Interesting. So, just to ask, because it's going around a second time now, what does everybody think about that flower?
It's not bad.
It's not amazing.
I don't get anything from it.
Nor do I.
It actually tastes like, to be 100%, it's like dirt weed to me.
It doesn't have a lot of like really amazing aromatics.
Yeah, like earthy dirt weed.
I mean, I'm sure it's effective and potent, but
Yeah.
I'm not overly impressed
I'm not
by
sure
it.
that it's effective or potent.
It already tastes burnt to me. So I mean, even though it's a lit joint, I just feel like it tastes burnt as well. So I wonder if these are also like, what's the best word I'm thinking? Like flash dried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like making the process faster in the grow when you've taken everything, you're harvesting it, you're waiting for it to sit in your room there and kind of dry out, and they may have just like flash dried it, and that's why it tastes burnt, because you can pretty much almost burn flour by doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I give you that because I'll be honest, of all the things that you've brought in here,
Mm-hmm.
especially pre-rolls, that's probably the least impressed. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
this is, I think,
Yeah.
the worst one we've ever done on the show.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
like bash
No,
this
that's-
brand or whatever.
That's what we're
Uh,
kind of here to talk about. I mean, we want to talk about these things. We want to say like what our opinion is about them, despite the fact
For
that
sure.
unfortunately it might be against a company. But
I wonder if that's what the future looks like. Like that kind of packaging, because I bet that's cheaper than tubes, is what it really boils down to.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's like you're having to pay for 2 packages.
right,
Right.
and
But
the
you're not-
sealing of one.
And printing on
But
both.
dude, you can
Right.
vacuum seal that like it's nothing. There's a machine that's automated to do that all day. And I guarantee that finite amount of plastic versus how much actual plastic. I wish I had a tube here so we could compare it. Do you have one in your bag of
we
goodies?
also have the
No.
one that
Yes,
you
I
got
do.
some pre-rolls from 420 in, which is mostly cardboard.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to that.
I loved this. There's a reason I kept it, is because this is a very clever packaging. There were
amongst
four-
all the other clever packaging you have, sir.
But there were 4 pre-rolls in there, and it's mostly made of cardboard except for the 2 ends, which are recyclable plastic. It's an intelligent design. that I support, but it's also air travels, right? So like that is not nearly is not gonna keep the joints housed within it fresh as
Right.
long as what we just pulled
Yeah,
out.
that's intended to
Right.
go like that's not meant to last more than a weekend after opening it.
Right, exactly.
I dislike the packaging. I dislike the joint itself. There's nothing to taste from it. There's nothing that sticks out. Not even the joint itself smells
it's
of
not-
anything. Like there's nothing that pulls me towards it and says, "Oh, I mean, other than you passing it to me, that pulls me towards it and says like, hey, this is awesome. You know, you're gonna get super stoned off of this." I don't feel that way at all. I think I think you guys
Oh, and
said
the
it, like, you smell
aftertaste is
better.
basically
Yeah.
just soil.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
dirt.
No, I'm good.
Like,
We should just put that out.
Do
That's
thi-
a
do
first.
things
That
with
is an
that.
absolute first for this show.
That we
Yeah.
The
just
joint's so
Yeah.
bad that we gave up.
Yeah. So the next thing I have is a cartridge by Hayes. It's premium live resin.
do I need to go
this-
get my battery? Or is-
I have mine.
Excellent. So we have one here. This is Gelato Mac. It is testing out at a 75%. Yeah, so let's see. Does Hayes say where they are, who they're with? Don't know which company does Hayes, but Hayes might be its own thing.
I think a Haze is its own company.
Is it?
because
Yeah.
I bought cartridges
yeah,
Gotcha.
with them.
I buy their stuff too. They have some that
Yeah.
are very good, some that
Yeah.
are okay, and some that are
Right.
very good.
I mean, it is like on the lower tier of the totem pole for like the best bang for your buck, which is not bad. Actually, I wouldn't even say that. I think it's still above that.
Well, like thanks to you, right before I traveled in May, I got like 4 of those carts for an ungodly reasonable amount of money. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit, okay, well, yeah, then I'll take more. Like,
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, and I mean, here's a little trick about that, but each one of these 1 gram carts, you can have 28 grams on you per day per person. So you can
Now,
buy
I thought that those counted differently like concentrates. Because if you have a gram of wax, that counts as more than 1 gram of flour.
you can buy 28 of these.
That's balls out.
Shut the front door.
I would never need 28. Like, 28 would be
to buy
annoying.
28 of them, though.
I could
Yeah,
just
I would
picture
do.
you with like a caboodle and you open it up and be like, this drawer has all of these flavors.
I probably
and
would
this
have a
drawer
caboodle,
has
you're
all
right.
of yeah.
I've even seen people buy like 28 frickin' 1 gram joints as well, and I just find that to be hilarious. Like, why don't you just buy
Buy
an
an
ounce and
ounce,
buy a
yeah.
couple of cones? But I mean, snowboarders, or skiers, so I guess like they just want their stuff already done and over with. They don't want to sit there and pack that shit.
8 grams of concentrate. So that's shatter oil wax resin. 1 ounce of flour or 8 grams
Yeah.
of. That's at least what Live Well says.
Well, no. So when I go to buy concentrate, I will buy it 8 grams at a time because most of the time they run a deal on that shit. So
you max out at
yeah,
8?
you can max out at 8 when you're buying actual concentrate.
Yeah, there's been a ton of times that I fucked around and grabbed like 2 4-gram buckets.
Yeah.
And then like I can't get a pre-roll for the drive home.
Oh,
It's the worst.
Also, if I was going to go buy 28 of those, I would need a bandolier to just like show them, and I would like arrange them by like what it was going to by strain.
probably a smart idea.
Oh, you're not getting 28 different strain. Well, maybe if you, went
could
all
if you went to a
manufacturer.
different if you went to different places. Absolutely,
That's illegal, sir. That's called looping.
That's why they track. They
No,
track
you
all
can,
of
you
the
can
IDs
shop at
now.
multiple dispensaries a day as long as you don't max out your amount.
So that's
Correct.
called looping. That's illegal. If
I've
you
done it
max out at
before.
1.
No, no, no,
but
no, no.
No, no,
okay,
no. If you
oh,
don't max it, like, because I've had a day where like I'm in Aurora and I'll buy a cart,
Yeah.
and then that in the morning, and then that afternoon I'm in Golden and I'll buy like 2 grams of wax.
Yeah, okay. I
and a
thought you were
joint.
saying that like you bought like an ounce here, an ounce
No, no,
there,
no, no, no.
28 grams
Like
here,
it's all
28
been within
grams there.
whatever the limit is. Like I've never maxed out my limit unless I'm like fucking around. I buy like 2 4-gram buckets.
And it's almost impossible to do that these days because they scan your ID and it is in the database within like 30 minutes or something. So then you can go to the next one who's like, I see you've already done this today. It's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Also, sell me more weed.
Yeah. I didn't want to play-by-play of my day. I just wanted to get high.
So, what's hilarious about that is
Oh, is this ready to go? Who's first?
who's the moron that's going to the same dispensary as the previous one they went to? If you're gonna loop, which is illegal, but if you're gonna loop and you're gonna go to the same dispensary, of course you're going to get caught. Like when I say same dispensary, I mean the same company
tastes
because
really
they're
good.
all linked. But
Right.
if you went to a mom and pop shop and then you went to a corporate shop and then you went to a different corporate shop that's different names, different companies.
Yeah, sure. You go
could
to a Green
still-
Dragon, you go to a Good Chem, you
could
go to a Buddy
still
Boy.
loop. Yeah.
I like the inhale taste more than the exhale taste, but it's good all the way across the board.
I almost have to give it a second because I feel like the joint is like negatively affected my palate.
I mean,
Take a swig of a beverage, James. It'll come back around. I can also adjust the temperature. It's on blue right now.
that's actually pretty decent to have it on blue.
I normally rock green.
Yeah, I do too. Goes through it faster.
That's super tasty. It's very tropical.
Right.
But I think I kind of agree with you. Like the inhaled flavor is a lot better than the exhale. But then again,
no.
The
I'm gonna
exhale's
give it another
not
shot.
bad. The exhale's not bad. I'm not taking
The
anything
exhale
away
kind of
from
reminds
the
me of like
exhale.
a kiwi flavor.
No, I like that one. If that one's getting passed out, I'd like to call dibs on that one. If you're keeping it, by all means enjoy it. But if it's going,
I was gonna, but I can give that up.
I don't have anything negative to say about it. Like it's good. I like it. It's tasty. I think the second time around I got a little more character from it.
yeah.
I mean, I think for a live resin, it's fine. It's not like special. But it's also not like a shitty flavor. It's not a shitty taste. I kind of taste a little bit of like it tastes like cereal to an extent. Like
Yeah.
it, you know,
Ooh, that's a good call.
I get like some back end of like I don't know, like post cereal of some sort. Like maybe when you smell the inside of like a Lucky Charms bag.
Fruit Loops.
Like that cardboard and like plastic cereal kind of smell. Cardboard and plastic cereal. That's a thing, right?
It is.
No, oh.
No, I'm gonna nope.
So
I have to not do that.
Bear, you asked about having a tube. We do have a tube. We've smoked this in the past. This is level 10, so we don't actually have to because we've already smoked this before. But it's
Just
up
as
to
an
you guys.
exemplar of how to
Yeah.
do this correctly.
Yeah. So I find this to be a little bit more convenient. I find this to be a little bit less expensive. It's just a sticker over a tube. These tubes are really inexpensive. I think all of this advertising and all of this extra shit is just ridiculous. But that's just me. I don't.
I'm looking at this not from not even a marijuana perspective, just a commercial business perspective. That costs nothing. That costs nothing. But that being vacuum sealed gives it a time frame that can be better than anything you can put in a tube. Because the tube, while it closes, is never sealed.
Right.
Yeah,
Correct.
but this is like really like tough fucking plastic. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm
And
like
that-
toddler
hang on.
I can't get into any.
I
And
had to
as a
bite into
result,
that.
as a result, that will also prevent children. Kids can
Exactly, but I'm an adult
Any
and I
kid
have
in
the
the
hands
planet
the
can
size of
squeeze this
children.
open if they take enough time. A kid can get into this 100 times easier than they get into
Look,
that.
I mean,
I hate to say it because I didn't
to
like
open it
the
from
end
the bottom.
result,
Feel you.
but that's the
feel you,
future of
Paige.
pre-rolls.
no, there's
certainly
not
fucking
even a
hope not.
perforated mark.
Yeah, I feel like less
What's
is
that?
more. Like, I don't know. It's just me. So this last but not least, I think one of the things that we have here is one of my favorite strains right now. It is so delicious smelling. It actually, to me, smells like strawberry butter cake. It is called Pearl Cadillac. And I'm actually going to pass it around
Ooh.
before we put it into the banana.
Yeah, she's pretty.
All right.
Yeah?
Giddy up.
What kind of notes did you guys get off of that? I mean, I didn't want to like force my perspective of what I smelled on there, but
It's
what
very
did you-
sweet.
Yeah.
It had more of like a sugary smell to it than like a floral smell to it. But my nose is a little fucked up.
Yeah, I would agree. Sweet, sugary. Like didn't get a lot of like grassy or piney notes.
Yeah, like more of a fruit based than like a floral based. If
That's
that makes
at least what
any
I got.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It all makes sense. And I mean, you know, again, when you think of those things, those are what you're smelling again with our terpenes, you know? So
It all goes back to those.
it does. It really, really does. It always will. I still try and tell people at work, customers and whatnot, that come in and say, you know, I want the thing with the highest percentage. And you're like, you don't need that. You can get super high off a 19%er if your nose is telling you, wow, this smells awesome. That's what your body wants. That's what it's saying. So take that 19% rather than that 27%. I have seen people come into the store and specifically ask for an indica.
Like your biggest, strongest, cheapest drink.
I want an indica, and I want, you know, I want the highest percentage. And then you tell them like, oh, well, the highest percentage I have is a 21% in that indica. And then they'll look and they'll see that there's a sativa. Oh, well, what's that 23%er? Well, that's a sativa. You wanted an indica. I'll take the sativa. It's like, if that's how you're going to go about it, then you might as well just stop thinking. We might as well just erase all the percentages and erase whether it's an S, H, or I.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter at that point. It really doesn't. So we've got our banana, and I have filled it with the Pearl Cadillac. Who wants greens?
Paige wants green.
Paige wants greens. She wants to get it out of the way.
That is the
Watch
most
the banana.
difficult bowl to smoke out of ever.
I love it. It's the banana bowl.
I think she just makes it more difficult than it needs to be.
No, I had surgery on my elbow like a couple years ago, and the hardest part is to rotate and like, cause the carb is so high up, it's hard to like grab the carb because my hands again
What
are
do you
so fucking
It's
small.
clogged, and it has been.
Hang on, there's a pokey for that.
That's what I've been looking for.
The pokey's in the rolling tray, James. It
It's
just
not
makes
where
sense.
it goes, because this is supposed to be the pokey not used for weed.
Well, it's too late for that.
Yeah,
now.
apparently.
As James just instantly stabs it into the marijuana.
Hey, if it's already been sullied.
Wasn't that the guy
That's
that
super
landed the
tasty.
plane in the Hudson?
That's delicious.
Captain Sully? Yes, it is.
Got a great taste, forward and back.
Oh man, I can't lie to you. In whatever time it took to like get from me to you, I don't even remember what it tasted like.
Well, we'll pass it back around to you.
No, but like that's a weird thing for me. Like normally I'm
I'd
like,
like some
oh, I like
more."
this. Let's take notes.
So what did you think? Well, it's coming back to bear.
It's a. For me, I think my palate is a little off tonight. Because I get like an earthiness to it, but like compared to the joint we had earlier, which, as Bear so succinctly put it, tasted like soil. I don't want to get that confused. That like earthiness is in a good way. At least that's what I'm getting, but I think my palate's off.
There's a flavor that I can't quite put my finger on.
Ooh, I can tell you that if I bought it, I would not be happy.
Ooh, I'd love
Really?
it. I think
It's not that it's bad. Like it's aside from that pre-roll earlier that we just put out, I don't think we've really had much bad weed on this show. But it is not a strain that I would have bought based on smell or taste. Like if I'd have bought that and I'd have realized I'd have got like into that first bowl, I'd just give it to my roommate.
Fair.
Oh, I thought you said bear. I was waiting for like you to say like you to carry through with that, or you didn't. It's like, well, is he just
Fair.
gonna bear?
Fair.
Take that.
Let me tell you something.
Huh. So, yeah, I think that, this wasn't bad with everything that we tried. I really wanted to try a couple of different things that I knew that I was getting some samples of. All in all, what did you guys think of the gummies?
Gummies, I loved the gummies.
thumbs up.
Yep.
Alrighty.
The taste was amazing. The texture, not so much.
And-
If I could get that taste, but in that texture that's almost like a jam, like some of the edibles we've had, that would be the shit.
Yeah.
Because that taste
Yeah.
it's amazing. But I shouldn't have to chew on something that long.
That's fair. See, that's why I don't like the dialed in gummies. I think those are way too damn chewy. I
Yeah.
just can't get through it. And it's like after a while, you're like, God, get this out of my
Every
mouth.
time I buy a pack of those, I think that I've purchased a stale pack, and then I buy another one, hoping that this one's
I
fresher.
agree.
So
and
you
it's
I
just
agree.
don't want something in your mouth for too long.
That's what she said.
That's why blowjobs are intended for foreplay.
Nice. What did you guys think of the Haze cart?
I like it.
That is probably
I
my
like that.
second favorite cart we've ever had on this show. After that,
The Sono Gardens.
yeah,
one.
man, that standalone Sono Gardens
That
that tasted
We
like
love us
fucking
some
blueberries.
Sono.
The Sono,
Gardens.
that is the reigning champion of every cart. I don't even
in
think there's
my
an
opinion,
argument in the room.
This is the absolute second place by a reasonable margin. Like,
That's crazy. And we really have some mixed views on this Pure Blaze. Paige, is it down? You're
Package
down.
and
down.
presentation.
Yeah.
Like presentation and taste.
Yeah, 100%.
oh, I'm opposed to everything about that pre-roll, but that is the future of pre-rolls.
And that's the terrifying thing. It's not the good thing.
No, that's the reality. though.
Because-
All people with arthritis cannot get that open.
yeah, but old people have scissors everywhere.
scissors.
So I am all for the tube.
Yes.
You seem all for the box and extra
No.
plasticing.
I'm pro tube all day.
Okay.
But understanding what I understand about economics, that's the future.
Fair enough.
And they won't be in the cardboard box around it. They'll just be in that little.
That vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That's
Yeah.
very easy to hang and punch a little hole through and just sit up there.
How much more can you pack into a fucking box? And you
And
just go, here's
eventually,
a handful
like-
of fucking things. Like,
Yeah.
What did we think about the Pearl Cadillac?
I loved it.
I thought it was
It's
delicious.
delicious.
Yeah.
It wasn't bears.
That's fair, Bear. That's fair,
And
Bear.
it's not that there was anything against it, other than it's just not what I prefer to have in my weed.
So what is your typical, like, are you sweet, spicy?
I like sweet. I like fruity. I like sweet. Some floral falls into that, but
I
not
heard
a
you say that
lot.
before, yeah.
I feel like a lot of the weed we get on the show has like that earthy taste to it, not necessarily like that dirt taste that we got from that pre-roll.
Fair, yeah.
But like almost like, for lack of a better descriptor, rich soil.
Gotcha.
Like you could just tell it tasted of earth.
So I'll be honest. Like when I grab stuff, and I'm so sorry, but I don't think of this, and maybe I should. Is that I think about like what I smell and like, and that's what I grab, and I don't necessarily think of like, hey, I'm gonna get what Bear likes today, or I'm gonna go and get what James likes today, like, and that's like something I guess I don't think about. But I should
technically,
for the show.
well, to some degree, but I don't know that you necessarily should. You also have to consider the two people that are honestly sometimes the dissenting opinions are also the two cigarette smokers in the room.
Yeah.
So there is a completely different sensory pace there. You know, it's the reason that I probably gravitate towards IPAs versus other styles, even though they're equally delicious.
Yeah.
Just not what I gravitate towards.
Gotcha.
So, and it may hurt that I generally drink an IPA while I'm doing this show. So maybe James gets to transition to lagers, just to keep a cleaner palate. So
Gotcha.
I don't know that it's have to go with what you want, but it's like, hey, you know, let's run the spectrum. But we've had lots of like really sweet and fruity things.
Like it's very rare that you present something that I'm not 100% for.
That's yeah. But like,
so don't
yeah.
it's not that you're like, I don't ever feel singled out. I feel like that is an end of your spectrum that I don't dive into, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I say like too, and like I don't take like offense to it. I feel like I could be a little bit more like, you know what, maybe somebody might like this, like rather than thinking, hey, let me buy like eighths and this or whatever of this, I could probably just get like a couple grams of some different strains that maybe we can go through and kind of decide like, hey, do you like this? Hey, don't you? What for? Why not? And yeah, just have a little bit more to pick from. I did almost grab some concentrate today. I just didn't because I got this cool little fucking vape instead for everybody to try. But yeah, other than that, I've got the July 30th event, the Rooftop Vibes with the Sesh Connection. We are actually going to have a lot of fun with that. Paige and I are going to be discussing the swag bags and what we're doing this time around. I ridiculously love that you helped me out with this. That really just,
welcome.
I love you. And that you guys are around for this too. Please come to this. Thank you for coming to the last one. Your ass better be at the July 30th one.
James is lame.
Lame.
Wah, 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 wah. James, just be excited because I could instantly turn that into a James is lame chant. And Paige is susceptible to that kind of behavior. She would have joined me.
I love a good chant.
Like, if I do a chant with a clap, Paige is 100% in. And I have rhythm, James. Don't tempt me.
Yeah. So there is an event coming up for Industry Night this Wednesday at the Marijuana Mansion. It's for badge holders, so that's going to be a thing. That's from 7 to 10. And other than that, 710 is coming up in a little bit, in a couple of weeks. So 710 is basically oil. 7/10, or when you say it backwards and upside down, it's oil.
420 for dab kids.
Yeah, basically, exactly.
That's a Monday.
Yeah. So we'll definitely celebrate and
Probably
do
a
some dabs
manic
on
Monday.
710 day. So I wish it will be a fun day, Sunday. So that's it. That's all I got.
I don't want to run day.